Hello everyone. Today we are going to solve some problems on proper cantilever beams. Yeah, before starting our discussion, let us have a overview of deflection of beams because these are going to come in between the problem solving. First of all, what is deflection? If a beam is considered like this, before loading it was horizontal like this, and if you apply load, what happened? It will tend to bend like this, deflect downward. Then deflection at any point is nothing but vertical deviation of a particular point from its initial position to final position. This much is nothing but deflection delta. And we have different methods like the double integration method, Michaelis method, and moment area method. Among these three, any of these three methods, we can have a formula, or uh, we can we will be able to calculate the deflections. Right, in the first one, double integration method, so we have a differential equation of bending ei d square y by dx square is equal to minus m, and this is a differential equation of bending. Here we are going to substitute value of m is a moment at bending moment at any section x, and we are going to integrate this equation once, thereby we'll get integration constant c1. Similarly, again we are going to integrate, then we'll get another constant c2, and the process is to eliminate the both integration constant c1 and c2 by applying boundary condition. Those are nothing but the values of known deflection or known slope, and thereby we'll be having c1 and c2 values, so that we are ready with the slope and deflection values, so that if you substitute x value with some value, then at that particular point we are going to get deflection as well as slope. And here Michaelis method, the second one, is almost like a double integration method, but it has an advantage over double integration method, as when there are multiple spans, let us say a simply supported beam having 2 or 3 point loads, let us say some 3 point loads. So here double integration method, either you can substitute this m equation for this span or for this span, for this span, like individually, whereas Michaelis method we can write a moment equation in the continuous form, mx moment at any section x, in terms of some factors separated by some bar, and like again, so like this, a continuous equation can be written, and boundary conditions or distances are applied to this separation. Let us say x value is in between the second span, then you need to consider up to this only. So that is a change over double integration method. Because of continuous expression, it can be applied to all the spans, and hence it has an advantage over double integration method. And similarly, we have moment area method. Here, deflection and slope are calculated based on the bending moment diagram of a particular beam. And for a cantilever beam, you can apply for any kind of load, but for a simply supported beam, uh, for only symmetrical type of loading, and then only you can apply moment area method. Otherwise, you need to calculate the point of maximum deflection, and at that particular point, you need to consider one more uh, tangent. So this is briefly about deflection of beams, and we'll also discuss about proper cantilever beams. What is a proper cantilever beam? First of all, a cantilever beam supported anywhere within the span with one roller support. that is known as prop, is a proper cantilever beam. Generally these prop is supported because of the, I mean, if you want to control the reflections and if you want to increase the load bearing capacity, then these are required. And what is statically determinate beams? So in beams, the first class we have discussed about various supports and support reactions. We have one unknown reaction for roller and two for hinged and three for fixed support. And for a beam, if you calculate total number of unknowns, and if those are more than the number of equilibrium equations, then it is statically indeterminate. But if the number of unknowns are equal to number of equilibrium equations, then those beams are called as statically determinate beams. Right. Then how to calculate the prop reaction? We have a procedure. So here in case of proper cantilever, we have at fixed support three unknowns and at roller one unknown, total four unknowns. Whereas we have only three equilibrium equations. So one extra equation is required to calculate unknowns, all the unknowns, and that is obtained from slope and deflection equations. So here particularly for prop reaction, what we are going to do, uh, with external loading alone without a prop, we are going to calculate what is the downward deflection at the prop. And similarly, this and the second one, we are going to remove load completely and we are going to apply only prop reaction in the upward direction. Then we are going to back calculate the what is the amount of deflection upwards. And in the first case, we have calculated the downward deflection, and but finally for a proper cantilever beam, deflection diagram will be something like this. Therefore, exactly at the prop reaction, deflection should be 0. That means if we add these two, deflection will be 0. From this we have an additional equation. So like this, we'll going to calculate the prop reaction. Yeah, first three problems we have already discussed in the previous class. Yes, we'll continue from this. A horizontal cantilever beam 3 meters long is subjected to a UDL of 4 kN per meter over its entire span. It is propped at the free end to the level of fixed end. Determine the prop reaction and construct shear force and bending moment diagrams. Also locate the point of contraflexure. So this is a question based on this. We need to draw diagram, proper cantilever beam, 3 meters long. So yes, it is 3 meters. Subjected to UDL over entire span. Okay. Magnitude 4 kN per meter. It is proper at the other end. Right. This prop p value is to be determined, and we need to draw the shear force and bending moment diagram for this. So first we need to find the prop reaction. For this, let us calculate downward deflection due to this load alone. So if there were no prop, downward deflection due to UDL at the free end will be. So for this case, a cantilever beam, when a cantilever beam subjected to UDL, we have a formula WL square by, sorry, L power 4 by 8EI, and here we are going to substitute the values. So W is nothing but UDL, and we have 4 kilonewton per meter, and L is the span, overall span 3, so 4 and 3 power 4 by 80i, and you can simplify it is 81 by 2ei. Let us say this is equation 1. this is 1. And to keep the free end at the level of fixed end, downward deflection due to UDL at the free end should be equal to the upward deflection exerted by the prop at the free end. Now the upward deflection due to prop, right? In the first case, when a UDL is applied on a cantilever, we have this formula, and for prop we can consider as it is almost equivalent to a cantilever beam subject to point load. But in case of prop, it is in opposite direction. Yeah, let us say a point load is applied on a cantilever beam. Then for this, yeah, for this particular case, maximum deflection is given by WL cube by 3I. So here in place of W we have PL cube by 3I, and finally it is 9P by EI. Let us say it is 2. Now equating 1 and 2, because final deflection is 0, therefore 1 and 2 equal but in opposite direction. So from this P can be obtained as 4.5 kilonewtons. Now having calculated prop reaction, let us calculate the vertical reaction at fixed support A. We know total load is some 4 kilonewton per meter over 3. That means 4 multiplied by 3. 4 multiplied by 3 is nothing but 12, and 12 minus, we have prop reaction as 4.5. 12 minus 4.5 will give you 7.5 kilonewton. That is nothing but a vertical reaction at a fixed support A. And with these values, let us calculate shear force values at various points. That is, shear force at B is equal to simply prop reaction, that is minus 4.5 kilonewton. Now shear force at A is equal to 4 into 3 UDL, 12 minus 4.5, that is 7.5 kilonewtons. Let the shear force change its sign at a distance x from B, and then go back to the diagram. Yeah, let us say at some x value we are going to calculate shear force. Then shear force at this place will be a load prop reaction minus 4 into x, isn't it? So, right. Prop reaction 4.5 minus 4 into x. So from this is equal to 0. Yes. So from this x is equal to 4.5 by 4, that is 1.125 meters from B. So with this we can draw the shear force diagram, and let us take bending moment diagram. For this we need to calculate bending moment at various points. First of all, bending moment at B is 0. At mm, at proper end, bending moment will always be 0. Then calculating moment at A, again we'll go back to moment at, let us say this fixed end is A and the other end is B. Now at A, bending moment is nothing but prop reaction multiplied by 3 minus 4 into 3 into 3 by 2. Yes, so 4.5, sorry, 4.5 into 3 minus 4 into 3 into 3 by 2. When you calculate, it is 4.5 minus 4.5 kilonewton meter. Then we are going to calculate maximum bending moment, and we know maximum bending moment occurs at a point where shear force changes its sign, and from here shear force changing its sign exactly at 1.125 meters from B, and therefore calculating at the point where distance is 1.125 meters, that is nothing but maximum bending moments. 4.5 into 1.125 minus 4 into 1.125 into 1.125 by 2, and we calculate it as a 2.53 kilonewton meter. Then let us calculate point of contraflexure. So it is a point where bending moment changes its sign from positive to negative or vice versa. That means exactly at particular point. Yes, exactly at this particular point, bending moment exactly 0, right? And we'll go back. Yeah, let us say at the same section, let us calculate the moment, bending moment. That means proper reaction multiplied by x minus 4 into x by 2. Yeah, 4.5 into a to 4 into a into a by 2 is equal to 0. So from this you can calculate a as 2.25 meters. Now we have every value at salient points as well as point of contraflexure, and with this we can draw the shear force as well as bending moment diagram. Yeah. Point of contraflexure occurs at a distance of 2.25 meters from fixed end. Yes, 2.25. No, 2.25 from free end, and 0.5 meters from fixed end. Now you can observe this. First one is load diagram, and second is shear force diagram, and the third is bending moment diagram. A cantilever beam carrying UDL throughout a 4 km per meter span 3 meters having prop reaction at free end. Now we know prop value as 4.5, so 4.5 downwards. Let us start from here. So support reaction, vertical reaction 7.5, and from here gradually 4 kilonewton per every meter is dropping, and thereby at this point we'll have minus 4.5, and prop reaction is 4.5 finally reaches 0. So in this process, the point where bending shear force change its sign is determined, that is 1.125, either from similar triangles or from equation. Then at B we have 0 bending moment, and exactly at this particular point it is 2.53, and up to here it is negative. Yeah, otherwise we'll start from here. At fixed support is 4.5, and because it is positive, curve upwards up to this point, and from there it is negative, then curve drops downwards. Okay, anyhow, this is a shear force and bending moment diagram, and we are going to find out this point of contraflexure by bending moment equation as discussed previously. Now let us solve one more problem. A cantilever beam 4 meter span is loaded with a UDL of 3 kN per meter over its entire span, and a point load of 10 kilonewtons acting at the center of the span, and a prop at the free end. Now calculate the prop reaction as well as construct a shear force and bending moment diagram. Also calculate the maximum bending moment. Now this beam has both UDL as well as point load. I'll show the diagram. Yeah, like this, UDL as well as midpoint load. Let us draw this. A cantilever beam 4 meter span having a UDL of 3 kN per meter. and a central point load of 10 kilotons. So that means exactly at a distance of 2 meters. Now this problem is divided into two parts. Number one, cantilever with a central point load and cantilever with a UDL on an entire span. Now let YB be the deflection due to point load and UDL. Here we follow moment area method. Moment area in this moment area method, deflection is nothing but A x bar by EA, that is moment of M by EA diagram. Let us calculate moment of EA diagram for point load as well as UDL, and then we add those two. So right, we'll go back to diagram. Right, for a point load like this on a cantilever, we'll get bending moment diagram like this. If it is 10, moment at this point will be 2 into 10, that is 20, and because of point load we have a triangular variation. Similarly, if you take UDL on entire span and then UDL alone, then the bending moment diagram will be a parabolic in nature with a value of 3 into 4, 12 multiplied by half of this 2, 12 into 2, 24. Okay, but this curve will be a parabolic. Now we have two diagrams separately. With the help of these two, let us calculate the Maxent deflection at the free end. Now, moment of this area is nothing but area half into 2 into this 20 by EI multiplied by distance from free end, that is 2 plus 2/3 of this distance. Now you can see over here, yeah, half into 20 by EI into 2, 2/3 of 2 plus 2. This is about the moment of MAA diagram for point load. And then for this diagram for UDL, for a parabolic curve like this, we have area 1/3 of B into D. So 1/3 into 4 into 24 will give you area multiplied by distance of this CG from the free end is 3 by 4 times a span, that is 4. You can see, sorry. You can see 1/3 24 into 4 and 3 by 4 into 4. Now simplifying, finally we get 162.6 by EI. This is downward deflection due to load, that is both point load as well as UDL. Let us have Y dash B as a upward deflection due to prop reaction. Now due to prop reaction again we'll get a triangle like this, a triangle with a value of 4 into P or 4 into RB over here, and again it's a triangle, but triangle up to the free end, therefore area half into 4 into 4 P or RB multiplied by distance from sharp edge 2/3 of 4 meters. Now we can see half into 4 into 4 RB by EI. You can also replace this RB with P if you want, and then multiply by 2/3 of span, that is 4. And when you simplify it is 21.3 times RB by EI. Let us say this is 2 and earlier it was 1. This is 1, and equating 1 and 2 like this. we get RB as 7.62 kilonewton. And then let us calculate vertical reaction at support. Vertical reaction at support. Total load is 10 plus 3 multiplied by 4. Yeah, 10 plus 3 multiplied by 4 minus this reaction will give you vertical reaction at fixed end as 14.375 kilonewtons. Now let us calculate shear force at various points. Shear force at B will be equal to prop reaction, that is 7.625 kilonewtons, and then shear force at A is just now we have calculated 14.375 kilonewtons. Let us also calculate shear force just left of C and as well as just right of C. Shear force at just left of C, we'll go back to the diagram. Yeah, shear force at this point just right of C is prop reaction minus 3 into 2. Okay, prop reaction 7.625 minus 3 into 2. Okay, just right of C, 3 into 2, that is 1 point minus 1.625. And coming to left, just left, we need to add this 10 kilonewtons also. Therefore it is 8.375 kilonewtons. And with these values calculated, we can draw the shear force diagram. Let us go to the bending moment calculations. Bending moment at free end or end is 0, and then bending moment at C, prop reaction multiplied by distance 2 minus 3 into 2 into 2 by 2. You can see over here 7.65 into 2 minus 3 into 2 into 2 by 2 will give you 9.25 kilonewton meter. Similarly, let us calculate bending moment at A. Again, we'll go to the diagram. Bending moment at A is prop reaction into 4 minus 3 into 4 into 4 by 2 minus 10 into 2. You can see 7.625 into 4, 3 into 4 into 4 by 2 minus 10 into 2. Finally, it is 13.5 kilonewton meter. And here maximum value of bending moment in negative it is 13.5 at support and positive 9.25 at C. Now with these values we can draw the shear force as well as bending moment diagram. You can see over here exactly at the support we have 14.375, fixed support we have 14.375, and from here gradually downwards up to here, and sudden drop of 10 kilometers over here, and then gradually downwards, and then finally this upwards up to 0. This is shear force diagram, and with this we can draw the bending moment diagram also. Yes, as point of counterflexure is not required, we haven't calculated, but we can also calculate following the same previous procedure. Like we need to consider a section anywhere at this point, consider a section at x distance from free end, and then writing general equation for moment and make it equal to 0, we can find the x value, and thereby we'll get a point of counterflexure. The next problem: a horizontal cantilever beam of span 8 meters carries a point load of 20 kN at a distance of 5 meters from fixed end, and prop end prop at the free end to the level of beam. Determine the prop reaction and draw the shear force and bending moment diagram. So here with these values, let us try to draw a neat sketch. A horizontal cantilever beam of 8 meters span. Total span is 8 meters, and carries a point load at a distance of 5 meters from fixed end. Let us say this is a point. Over here we have 20 kilonewtons. At a distance of 5 meters from fixed end, whereas total span is 8 meters. It has a proper end at the proper at the free end, right? Now let us say this is A, this is B, and at center it is C. This was the question. Let the reaction of prop at the free end be some P kilonewtons. Now downward deflection due to point load of 20 kilonewtons at the free end. Here value point load W as 20 and L as 8 meters and A as 5 meters, because we have this formula from double integration or Maclaurin's method. We have this formula y1, that means y is nothing but downward deflection due to this point load is y1. Y1 is equal to WA cube by 3A plus WA square by 2A into L minus A, where W is a point load 20 kilonewtons, A distance from fixed end to the point load, that is 5 cube by 3A plus again W 20 A 5 by 2A into L minus A. L is overall span 8 meters and A distance from fixed end to point load 5. And from this, if you calculate, it will be 4750 by 3A. Let us say it is 1. And let us now calculate upward deflection caused by prop at the free end. Y2, as we know, a point load when it is applied at the free end, direct deflection formula, maximum deflection formula is W L cube by 3A. Here we need to substitute P in case of W. And we know overall span is 8 meters, so 8 cube into P by 3A, and that will come to 512 P by 3A. Let us say it is 2 now. Now again we need to equate both 1 and 2 to find the prop reaction. So from this, upon simplifying, you get prop reaction as 9.27 kilonewtons. Let us say with prop reaction as 9.27, let us calculate vertical reaction at fixed support A. Here total load downward load 20 minus prop reaction, 20 minus prop reaction will give you 10.72 as vertical reaction at fixed support. Now we know the values at different points, and therefore we can draw the shear force diagram. And then let us move on to the bending moment diagram. For this, we need to calculate bending moment at various points, starting with bending moment at B. Bending moment at B is 0. At free end, we'll always get a 0 bending moment. And at C, yeah, sorry. Yes. At C, bending moment is equal to P multiplied by 3. That's all. Yes. 9.27 multiplied by 3 is 27.81 kilonewton meter. Similarly, bending moment at A over here at the fixed support is equal to prop reaction multiplied by 8 minus 20 into 5. We'll go back. Yeah, 9.27 into 8 minus 20 into 5, that is minus 25.84 kilonewton meter. Now we have bending moment at various points. Let us calculate point of contraflexure. So it is a point where bending moment changes its sign, or exactly bending moment is 0. Let x be the distance between B and some section x. So here at this place we need to consider a section x, right, and this x be the distance from free end to this section x. So with this, let us calculate bending moment at section x, nothing but property action into x minus 20 into x minus 3, isn't it? So 9.27 into x minus 20 into x minus 3 is equal to 0. And from this, you can simplify and calculate x as 5.59 meters from free end. That means if it is 5.59 meters from free end, then it is total distance 8 minus 5.59 will give you 2.49 meters from fixed end, like this, 2.41 meters from fixed end. Now we know every value of shear force at various points as well as bending moment at various points. With this we can draw the shear force diagram. Yes, it is something like this, a prop reaction of 9.27, and from B to C there is no load, therefore constant, and exactly at this point sudden drop of 20. So plus 9.27 minus 20 will give you minus 10.73, and in between A and C we have no load, therefore constant, and exactly at A we have a vertical reaction of 10.73, and upwards finally we reach a 0. This is shear force diagram. And again bending moment diagram starting with here. If you have a constant shear force, then will be having a linear variation in the bending moment diagram, and this area 9.27 multiplied by 3 is nothing but 27.81 area here equal to here in the ordinate in the bending moment diagram. And as we know, constant reflects a linear variation in the bending moment diagram, and it is positive, therefore rising up to here, and from here it is negative, that means dropping from here. And again if it is a constant shear force, here it is a linear variation, and finally minus 25.8 over here, and because of fixed end we have a moment or couple exactly equal to 25.84 finally reaches 0. And this is a bending moment diagram. And we'll have one more problem, this is the last one. A horizontal cantilever beam of span 6 meters. Let us draw over here a horizontal cantilever beam of 6 meters carries a UDL of 5 km per meter over a length of 2 meters from fixed end. Now we have a UDL up to certain distance, up to a distance of 2 meters only. Let us say this is 2 and the overall distance is 6, and over here we have a prop, right? This value magnitude we have as 5 km per meter. Yes. Determine the prop reaction if E and I values are given. Also draw the shear force and bending moment diagrams. Let us again reaction at the prop be some P kilonewton. First step is always to calculate the deflection, downward deflection due to load, that is UDL, of 5 kN per meter at the free end, and small w 5 kN per meter. Span, overall span is 6 meters, and A distance from fixed end to up to which UDL is spread. UDL spread is there, that is A is equal to 2 meters. And for this particular case, with the partial load, partial UDL from fixed support, we have this formula. Maximum deflection is equal to WA power 4 by 80A plus WA cube by 6A into L minus A. Here we'll substitute the values. UDL, magnitude of UDL 5, A is 2, similarly L is 6 and A is 2. You can substitute all these values and simplify. Finally it is 110 by 3I. Let us say this is 1. Now upward deflection caused by prop at the free end, let it be y2 due to prop we have p L cube by 3a, and therefore L is 6, you can substitute 216 p by 3a, this is let us say 2. Now we need to equate 1 and 2 in order to calculate the prop reaction, we know that, and therefore by equating those two and solving for p, we'll get 0.509 kilonewton as prop reaction. Now having known the prop reaction from the total load from this diagram, total load, downward load will be 5 into 2, that is 10. So simply 10 minus 0.509 will give you 9.49 kilonewtons as vertical reaction at the fixed support. Now with these values we can draw the shear force diagram, uh, and then we'll move on to the bending moment diagram. Bending moment at B, MB will always be 0, and let us calculate bending moment at C, that means exactly over here. So prop reaction multiplied by this distance, nothing but 4. Yeah, 0.509 multiplied by 4 will give you 2.036 kilometer meter. Similarly, bending moment at A, again we'll go back. Bending moment at fixed support A is equal to prop reaction multiplied by 6 minus 5 into 2 into half of this, 2 by 2. You can see now 0.509 into 6. Wait. Yes, 0.509 into 6 minus 5 into 2 by 2, that is minus 6.946 kilonewton meter. And let us also calculate the point of counterflexure. It is a point where bending moment changes its sign from positive to negative or vice versa, and therefore point of counterflexure at exactly some point will be, sorry, bending moment at point of counterflexure will be 0, and therefore we need to write a general equation somewhere in between this span, let us say at some section x, at a distance x from this prop reaction, calculating bending moment, that means prop reaction multiplied by x minus 5 into x minus 4 multiplied by x minus 4 by 2, right? Yeah, 0.509 into x minus 5 into x minus 4 into x minus 4 by 2 is equal to 0, and by simplifying this and solving for x, we'll get as 5 meters. That means point of counterflexure occurs at a distance of 5 meters from free end, and therefore total span is 6 meters. So 5 minus 6 minus 5, that is 1 meter from fixed end. Now having calculated all these values, we can draw the shear force diagram and bending moment diagram as well. The first one here is loading diagram. A cantilever with a UDL over here. This is not point load, but this is UDL, 5 kilonewton per meter over a length of 2 meters from fixed support. And with this, let us start the shear force diagram from here. We have a prop reaction of 0.509, and from B to C, as there is no load, shear force variation is constant, and from here there is a downward load, therefore a gradual downwards from 0.509 over here to 9.491 at the fixed support, and vertical reaction we have same value equal to 9.49, therefore from here it reaches 0 finally, and this is a shear force diagram. And coming to bending moment diagram, bending moment at B will always be 0 at free end or at proper end, and from here area of shear force diagram will be equal to ordinate in this bending moment diagram, and we know variation of bending moment diagram is linear if the variation of shear force diagram is constant, and this area is nothing but 0.509 multiplied by 4 is 2.036, and from here up to certain portion, again it is positive only, therefore a slight rise will be seen, unlike this diagram, a slight rise in the curved form, then downward curve. This curve is nothing but a parabola, and exactly over here you will get a maximum bending moment, and thereby and from there it will drop continuously. Okay, and yeah, if the shear force variation is linear, then we have a parabola in the bending moment diagram. Yeah, with this we have completed problems on proper cantilever, and hope you understand this lesson. And next class we're going to come with a new topic known as fixed beams. And again, in that fixed beams topic also, you must be familiar with the deflection concepts. Okay, thank you. We'll meet in the next class.